Global climates have shifted many times in Earth's geologic history. This is largely due to cyclic changes in the Earth's orbit, its axial rotation, and its wobble. Trujillo and Thurman, in their book Essentials of Oceanography, published in 2020, refer to these Milankovitch cycles as fixed interval changes in the Earth's in these facets that occur in 100,000 years, 41,000 years, and 23,000 years, respectively. However, this is not the cause of global climate change happening today. Lindsay and Dahlman, in an article they posted on 2021 on climate.gov, examined how the Earth's temperature has increased over the last 140 years. They found that the temperature has increased by 1 degree Celsius in that time span. Trujillo and Thurman note that even a 1 degree increase in global temperature averages can have drastic effects on global climates worldwide. As well, and if this isn't halted, then the global temperature could increase by 6 degrees in the next 100 years. While the general consensus among those who study this subject is that humans are a main cause of global climate change, the general public has generally lagged behind in this belief. The burning of fossil fuels greatly contributes to greenhouse gases in the atmosphere that warm it. And public officials and the general public need to be educated on the consequences of climate change, as well as ways to generate energy without the burning of fossil fuels. To understand how climate change is affecting us today, we first must know how fossil fuels are made and how the carbon cycle works. Carbon is emitted and placed in a mineral called coal, which we use commonly to burn and make energy. However abundant, this takes millions of years to form. Tsai et al., in an article posted in 2019, noted that the earliest coal deposits are in rocks that are 65 million years old. This means that coal takes millions of years to form under high pressure conditions and is relatively finite in its abundance. If burning fossil fuels increases the temperature of the atmosphere, then how have we kept temperatures stable throughout geologic time? To answer this question, we first must need to examine how burning fossil fuels affects the atmosphere. When coal is burned, it emits a gas called carbon dioxide, which is the main greenhouse gases that human activities emit. The Earth has traditionally had a system of buffering carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere throughout the atmosphere. Trujillo and Thurman note that this interaction is between atmospheric carbon dioxides and the plants that need them with the addition of photosynthesis to generate energy. Trujillo and Thurman also note that the oceans, which is a major carbon sink that absorbs carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, has a separate buffering system involved in keeping the pH of the oceans relatively stable. If an influx of atmospheric carbon dioxide is absorbed by the oceans, then that can lead to more acidity in the oceans and make it unlivable for many marine organisms. Furthermore, increasing global temperatures can have drastic effects with terms of seasonal temperature extremes, more intense weather conditions such as worse hurricanes, and the melting of polar ice at the poles, which increase the sea level of the Earth, according to Lindsay Dahlman in their article posted in 2021. While the evidence is clear that there is a strong influence from humans in the current climate crisis, the public opinion is less homogeneous on this view than the scientific community. In 2006, Al Gore won the Nobel Peace Prize for his work on a documentary called An Inconvenient Truth, which examined the climate crisis and placed it under a microscope. Even with works such as this done, many people still deny that climate change is human-caused at all. One reason is the use of the term global warming when it first became popularized. This term refers to the average temperature of the Earth increases, but it was taken out of context by media outlets who lacked the understanding that this was a global temperature average and not a regional one. To set this matter straight, scientists have changed the term to climate change rather than global warming in order to reduce the stigma when global warming was being discussed in the media. Haltner and Sarath Chandra, in an article they published in 2021, examined the skepticism of the public regarding this issue. They found that 97% of climate scientists agree that human activities are causing much of the climate change. However, 33% of the general public deny that humans have anything to do with climate change at all. This is a troubling disparity among climate scientists, especially considering the urgency of addressing the issue at hand. Changing the attitudes of those who have a hand in changing the way we generate energy should be a top priority and objective of our governments worldwide. Trujillo and Thurman, as noted earlier, noted that a 1 degree Celsius increase in temperature of the Earth can have drastic effects on the ecology and the biology of the ocean, as well as shift biomes on land. Trujillo and Thurman also noted that increasing in surface temperatures of the ocean can increase the intensity of hurricanes, and have noted that Category 4 and 5 hurricanes have substantially increased in recent years. If something isn't done soon, then the Earth will be a very bleak place to hand to our children and our children's children. We must demand action from our elected officials to take action in generating new work in generating energy. Trujillo and Thurman noted that we have technology available in the form of clean, renewable energy to generate electricity and power. So these range from utilizing wave and tidal energy to utilizing wind and solar energy. It's imperative that we shift away from the harmful practices of burning fossil fuels as a way to make energy by releasing greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. We must demand action and better policies from our governments and our elected officials. And this is imperative in order to say that certain generations of successive generations will have a better world. We must take action.